for their end-of-course testing this spring. With upcoming SATs and ACT testing in April, some may need some extra help getting ready. Those end-of-year exams often determine a student's progression to the next grade or the need for summer schooling. Not to mention that the SATs and ACTs carry a heavy weight for those wanting to go to college. The LJD Jewish Family and Community Services Group offers the Achievers for Life program to help. It's designed to support sixth grade students who may be struggling. Joining me now is the Director of Achievers for Life, Matthew Bird. Hey, good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about some things that moms and dads can look for to understand that their kids may be struggling. First of all, key here is that the parents need to be involved. They've got to pay attention to their students' grades in reading and math, because that's really a big sign that the kids have some needs. They need some help.
Correct. The biggest indicator is looking at the students' academic report cards throughout the school year. You want to make sure, have your student been doing well all year? Or if you're seeing the student struggle, have the decline in math or reading, we want to hire a tutor, because the tutor can help that student find those different assets and make sure they're successful for the upcoming state assessment, and the students prevent from going down any potential barriers, so we can provide success for those families moving forward. So the parents just still look at the previous report cards, let's work together as a team and provide those responses for that particular student.
So what's the best way to approach your kids? Because sometimes you hear what your kids are saying, but what your kids are not saying is also very important.
Well, you want to look at them, see if your student is refusing to talk about school. Some students, they refuse to talk about school, whether it's their academics, whether it's the day in school. They don't want to talk about anything. They start missing school, excessive absence from the classes. So we want to make sure that we're providing those services and meeting with the families. And also, if you see your student taking longer on homework assignments, then we know there's some issues going on, and we want to encourage that student to get back on focus on the things that have happened.
We were talking about this off the air. I was one of those kids who just didn't test well.
Right.
How do you approach that? Because it comes down to self-confidence.
Right. We want to promote the confidence. Let the student know this test is going to help them. And just, they've been successful all year. So take their time. Look at the questions, look at the answers, and relax and remember what they were taught in the classroom, and use that during the test, because as you know, the kids have been testing all year. They have different tests that students have seen. So now it's time to step up, move forward, and get the things done as needed.
So in the program that you offer, I remember this teacher once told me, sometimes if you look at the question and then you look at the answers, you can actually eliminate some of the answers, because there are clues there that tell you, yep, those couple of answers aren't going to fly.
Right, exactly. And those are the type of things the kids learn throughout the school year. So through our program called the Achievers for Life program, it's funded by United Way, and it's through Jewish Family and Community Services. And we work with those kids to promote that transition coming into middle school, because we want the kid to be successful, and we want to bring the parents involved with the access for those kids and look at what is it going to take for this kid to be successful. So we target kids transition to middle school. We're in 10 different middle schools throughout Duval County, and we work with the kids who may have some low test scores, may not have scored high on the previous standard exams, and we want to make sure they're successful. So we provide those wraparound services, and we strengthen that family through family night events, so kids know, hey, if we work together as a team, we want that parent to work with them as well, and then we're there for them.
Middle school is probably the toughest time for kids anyway, because they're really trying to find themselves. They're going through a transition as far as their personal well-being, relationships, and things like that. So this just adds to the stress.
Correct.
All right. So if people want more information about this program, they want to subscribe to it, where do they go for that information?
So they would go to our website, that the LJD Jewish Families and Community Service website. It's jfcsjax.org. And you can find about our wonderful program, and it tells you who we are, what we're about, and that's actually good for the families and the students for other services as well.
All right, let me go back to probably the main point, which is what we started with. Mom and dad need to be involved.
Right, that is 100%. We promote the wraparound service for the family, because we want mom and dad to say, education is important. You want to remind the student, education takes you a long way through life. And if we're involved as parents, then the kids will take interest in school and they'll look forward to being successful. And we want them to work as a team and work with mentors in the community. Maybe they want to be a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, or someone around that way, and then they can focus on moving forward and have strength going into the high school years so they have that academic support. And mom and dad and the students are not anxious anymore because they've been successful.
And there you go. And mom and dad, we don't need those dreaded number 2 pencils anymore. It's all digital. Matthew Burt, thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.